I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take a seat.
Sir.
Kartikay,
Yes, sir.
you belong to Delhi. You have done from IIT Roorkee.
Yes, sir.
You should be a dream candidate for anybody. Outstanding academic record, and even in IIT 8.9.
Thank you.
But why are you not working for last 3 years? You passed out almost 3 years ago.
Right, sir. Sir, actually, when I graduated in the year 2019.
Last year, sir.
Okay. Sir, after I graduated in the year 2019, I started preparing for this exam.
And that what we can see, other than any other reason.
So, sir, in the year 2020, I appeared for the GATE examination as well.
Okay, done.
And got
26 rank.
26
All that
rank.
we have seen. Anything else?
Sir, on the basis of that, I was selected in Indian Oil Corporation Limited. I joined it in February.
You joined it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I joined it.
That's
but,
good. You joined it, it's fine. And
but sir, I have left.
What about, have you applied at various places in the private sector?
Sir, in the private sector, I sat for the campus placements at my college.
You must have got a good one. You have outstanding record.
Sir, I got placed at one of the startups, which is called Oyo Rooms, and I was offered the position of business analyst. But
Excellent.
My father was in Indian Railways, so
what?
So, sir,
So you have to go to railway only?
No, sir. That was not the reason, sir. But he suggested me that this can be a good career for you if you want to consider this seriously. So after that, in my final year, when I looked at the career prospects in these services,
come to the point. Are you not interested in private sector?
Sir, I am not interested in
Why?
that. That's why I left the job.
That's the reason. That's the question. Why?
Sir, because of the kind of services which are offered in this exam. Sir, we have some kind of
But you know that government is gradually moving out.
Yes,
the
sir,
Prime Minister has repeatedly been saying that government has no business to be in business.
Sir,
Gradually services are being reduced. So scope will become less, not more. Private sector is growing.
Right, sir. Sir, that is...
You get much better enumeration in private sector.
Right, sir.
You get promotion on merit in private sector, not in government. Then why not private sector?
Sir, actually, when I graduated, I was like, the policies of the government were not so clear to me.
I am saying that today, suppose today you are getting, even today you will get.
Today I agree with your point, but
today also you can get a very good private sector job.
I can, sir.
But you don't want it.
But I don't want to work there. Either I will go for research.
Why not private sector? You still not answered my
Sir,
question.
because I don't want to work in the private sector.
It's bad. Private sector is bad.
Not like that, sir.
Private sector is corrupt.
But in the private sector, sir, I prefer the public sector to the private sector.
I have understood it. The IT and you are not answering my question. And I'm disappointed.
Sir, the reason is only that there is some public responsibility which comes when we are working in the public sector. So, in civil engineering...
People don't look for a job for responsibility. People look for a job for what they are going to get.
Right, sir. So, in the job which I was getting, mostly, sir, the private sector is ruled by the software people nowadays. And the kind of job that
there are so many top level
civil
engineering companies.
There are, sir, but the kind of salary which I was getting there was also low.
Low?
Yes, sir.
Not to IIT Roorkee person. I refuse to believe that.
Sir,
anyway,
that was...
You are a snooker player. What is the possible maximum break in snooker?
Sir, in snooker, the break is 147.
Not correct. Think over it again. Okay. Had the answer been so simple, I wouldn't have asked you the question. You have written in your DAF.
Okay.
So how much it can be then, in some cases? Actually, 148 has been recorded in our class batch also.
Okay.
And it can be more than that also.
Yes, sir, it can be. I don't know the...
One last question, again on snooker. I was playing a snooker match with a friend of mine. You are the judge, referee.
Okay, sir.
What happened, actually, I needed 5 points. 5 more to win the game, the frame.
Right, sir.
Last black was on the board. On the table, I potted the black. I was happy. I have won it.
Okay.
But the opponent said, wait a minute. Your ball is moving. And gradually my ball, my white, went into a pocket.
Correct.
He went to the referee that it's a foul.
Right.
Because his ball has gone into the pocket now. Black had gone earlier. Few seconds later, white goes inside. and he says it's a foul, give me the penalty. He asks the referee, you are the referee, what will you do?
Sir, definitely this is a foul, and
So what will be your decision? If foul, what penalty?
Sir, 7 points have to be given to the opponent.
So what is the result?
Sir, the opponent will win.
Opponent will win, but that's not the penalty. Actually, the frame is over the moment it goes in, and I lose it.
Okay.
Because when the balls are over, then there is no concept of giving a penalty points.
Sir, but in some of the cases, I have seen that even if the cue ball touches the cue stick,
that's a different situation. This is the end game situation, not else. Okay. Anyway, so.
Okay. What do you understand by quality control?
Okay, tell me. Sir, quality control, if we see in case of RCC structures, sir, I think it should start from the stage when the mixing is being done for concrete. So, sir, after ensuring that the concrete with the required parameters is
Mainly
being made
you just
in the
tell
mix.
me what test you will perform.
Okay.
To
Sir,
control the quality, what test you will perform?
Sir, of the concrete
Yes.
that is being mixed.
Yes.
Sir, slump test is one of the tests
Right.
which is to be conducted. Sir, and then in hardened concrete, some destructive and non-destructive tests can be conducted.
When you will construct, when you will do this destructive or non-destructive test?
Sir, when the concrete is poured and it has hardened.
So at that time
At
you will
the
do
site.
the destructive test.
Sir, no,
Or
only
non-destructive.
non-destructive testing.
Which non-destructive test you will perform?
Sir, we can do the rebound hammer test to find out the...
Is it authentic?
Sir?
Rebound hammer test is authentic or not?
Sir, it is used in practice, so it must be... Sir, I am not aware whether it is authentic or not.
Okay. So which test is authentic? Which test is considered authentic?
Sir, I don't know.
No idea. Okay. What do you understand by valuation of a building?
Sir, valuation, sir, I am not aware of it, but I can take a guess.
Okay.
Sir, valuation of a building must be the amount of money that will be required to construct that building, which includes acquiring the material, as well as...
no, this is not valuation. What different type of estimates are prepared for before constructing a building, before going for tendering process or like that? What different type of estimates are prepared? No idea?
No, sir.
Have you heard about preliminary estimates?
Sir, in surveying, I have heard of preliminary estimates.
What is that? How it is prepared?
Sir, generally in preliminary estimates, fly leveling is being done at the site, but
Fly
that
leveling.
is done before the contract
Suppose
is
you have
being
to
prepared.
construct a building. So, and you have to prepare a preliminary estimate. So, what does it mean? What you will prepare? Do you need fly leveling for that?
No, sir.
What are different tendering process used nowadays?
Sir, I am not aware of it.
Not aware. Have you heard about MyVen technology? Nowadays, it is much in use, most widely used nowadays in India and overseas. MyVen technology.
No,
No
sir,
idea?
I have not heard of it.
About that. Okay. Any new construction technology that are used nowadays for constructing buildings mainly?
Sir, nowadays 3D printing is coming into picture slowly.
What is that 3D printing? How it will help in construction of building?
Sir, 3D printing is basically a new technology in which the entire components like the slab, the beams are being printed, and 3D printing is being done, and it has been estimated that we can build a building. It has not been implemented practically. It is still in the research stage. But it has been observed that the amount of cost that is required to build the building is much less.
Have you
in
heard
those
about
cases.
beam technology? Beam?
Sir, beam technology? No.
No idea?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all.
Kartikay.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by liquefaction of soil?
Sir, liquefaction of soil is a phenomenon which occurs generally in sandy soils. And whenever there is some impact loading or dynamic loading on the soil, like in the case of earthquakes or in the case of explosion of bombs, then what happens is that due to this dynamic loading, positive excess pore water pressure develops in the sandy soil, and due to that the effective pressure reduces to zero. And when effective pressure reduces to zero, sandy soil does not have any cohesion, and that is why it loses all of its shear strength. So this phenomenon is known
Very
as
good.
liquefaction.
Very good. Okay. So you have performed triaxial test?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you performed cyclic triaxial test? No.
No, sir, I have not.
You have not heard also cyclic triaxial test. Have you heard of?
Sir, I can't remember.
Okay, you can't remember. Triaxial test you have done,
I have observed it in the laboratory of my college, sir.
but you have not done.
I have not done it practically.
Why did you not done? Why did you not do?
Sir, actually, in our bachelor's course conducting, this was not in the syllabus, in the
Only you observed.
geotechnical laboratory.
Only you observed.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what are the different types of triaxial test?
Sir, one is the CD test, that is a consolidated disturb test.
Consolidated?
Sir, I forgot.
Consolidated drain test.
Drain test, sorry, sir. Sir, consolidated drain test. And one is CU test, that is consolidated undrained test. And the UU test is unconsolidated undrained test.
There is one more test.
Sir, the fourth type of test is not possible.
Not possible. Unconfined compression test.
Unconfined compression test is there, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So now my next question to you is whether unconfined compression test is a type of UU test.
Sir, there is a basic difference between.
Yes, please tell.
Sir, the difference is that in unconfined compression test, there is no confining pressure that is applied on the soil sample.
Okay.
And the unconfined, therefore, the unconfined compression test can only be done for plastic soils,
Okay.
which have some cohesion, because otherwise the sample will not hold
Very true.
in the
Very
machine.
true. Yes.
But in case of triaxial testing, we enclose the specimen in a rubber membrane.
Yeah.
And that is why it is possible to conduct UU test for sandy soils as well, and we apply confining pressure as well.
Okay. What is the size of the sample that we use in triaxial test? Or rather L/D ratio, you know?
Sir, I am not aware of it.
You are not aware of it. Okay. There are coefficients, pore pressure coefficients.
Yes, sir. Kempton's pore pressure.
Kempton's pore pressure coefficients, right?
Yes.
What is B in that? B?
Sir,
Bataiye.
sir, in the first stage of triaxial testing,
Yeah.
when we apply the confining pressure, then there is certain increase in the pore water pressure that can be observed through the triaxial test.
Very good.
So if we take the ratio of the increase in the pore water pressure to the increase in the confining pressure that is being
That
applied,
ratio is B.
that will be B.
Very good. Very good. So B की maximum value कितनी हो सकती है?
Sir,
If the
B
soil is fully saturated, I
Yes, sir.
am asking another way.
Right.
What will be the value of B?
Sir, it will be 1.
ठीक है. Dry soil के लिए,
Sir, it will be 0.
partially saturated soil के लिए.
Sir, it will not be 0, but it will be very close to 0.
अच्छा ठीक है. A bar का क्या है? What is the meaning of A bar?
Sir,
A bar.
A bar.
वो भी pore pressure coefficient ही है. Do you know that?
Sir, I know A and B are two.
अच्छा,
Pore
A bar,
pressure.
A bar you don't know.
No, sir, I don't know A bar.
Not an issue, not an issue. Pore pressure coefficients are correlated with the compressibility of solids and compressibility of water. Can you write the expression of pore pressure coefficients in terms of compressibility of solids and compressibility of water? No,
No, sir, I don't know the
not
expression.
an issue. कोई बात नहीं. You tell me, how will you define Mueller-Breslau principle?
Sir, Mueller-Breslau principle has been developed to find out the influence line diagram for different functions, like there is a shear stress, bending moment, deflections, and support reactions.
You draw a simply supported beam.
Okay, sir.
Take a section C, कहीं पे दे दीजिए आप, हाँ, and put a UDL on both sides, shorter than the span,
Okay.
shorter than the span.
Sir, on both sides.
Both sides दे दीजिए. Right. Closing that point C तक दीजिए.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So this is a case
Okay.
when the UDL length of UDL is less than the length of span.
Okay, sir.
So what are the criteria? Getting my point? To find the maximum value
Right,
at a
sir.
section.
Okay.
कब होगी maximum value?
Okay. Sir, for this, sir, maximum value of shear force and bending moment can be found out.
क्या
Using
condition
the-
क्या है उसके लिए? What are the
Sir,
conditions?
for shear force, if can I draw the influence line diagram for
नहीं,
shear
just
force?
condition बताइए. There is a condition. How it divides the section?
Okay. Sir, for bending moment, let us suppose that this length is A and this distance is B. And if this is X and this is Y, then X divided by Y should be equal to A upon B. So it should divide the UDL in the same ratio as the section divides the beam.
ठीक.
You have finished your graduation
Yes,
from
sir.
IT Roorkee
Yes, sir.
in 2019.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, can you tell me about few of the canal regulatory works which are constructed to regulate the water flow through a canal?
Sir, there are canal regulators which are
Canal regulators
Yes, sir.
constructed across canal. Similarly, we have another regulator constructed across river to regulate the flow which will be entering into the canal. What is it called and how does it function?
Sir, I know that groins are constructed to divert.
Groins are for different purposes. They are not for the purposes to regulate the flow which is entering into the canal.
Okay.
Groins or spurs are for different other purposes.
Right, sir.
You must have heard about river regulator also,
Yes, sir. I have heard that.
head regulator. How does it function? How is the head regulated using head regulator or the so-called river regulator? Very near to Roorkee, we have different
Yes, sir. There are different
sites where
structures.
we have installed these regulators, canal as well as river regulator. You must have seen them.
Sir, I have only seen the aqueduct which is there in Roorkee. Apart from that, I have not
You have seen the
personally
aqueduct.
visited any of the other structures.
What is the purpose of aqueduct? Why is it constructed?
Sir, for aqueduct, whenever there is a certain drain or a river which is crossing the path of our canal, then in that case, we have to carry the canal over the drain. So if the highest flood level of the drain or the river, the bed of the canal is above the highest flood level of the drain or the river, then in that case we can use a aqueduct to carry the canal over that river. So that is the purpose of constructing an aqueduct.
Okay. Now, is it necessary to carry the canal over the river? Is it also possible to carry the drain or the natural stream over the canal? Is it possible?
Yes, sir, it is possible.
So, in that case, what type of hydraulic structure will be constructed? What is it called?
Sir, it is a siphon aqueduct.
No. In siphon aqueduct also,
Yes, right.
canal runs over the drain, but the canal bed level is below the HFL of the natural stream.
Right, sir.
Why is it required to
Sir, super passage.
super passage? Yes,
Yes, sir, is
the
there.
answer would be super passage. But why is it required to carry the canal or the drain one over the other? Why
Sir,
don't the engineers allow to mix the water of both these channels?
Sir, because we are constructing the canal for the purpose of irrigation, and there is a certain area which comes under that canal. So if there will be intersection of the streams of the canal and the river, then in that case it will lose its head. So there will be a great loss of head. And when there will be great loss of head, it will not be able to provide its water to far-flung areas.
It's not basically head, it's discharge carrying capacity. The discharge carrying capacity will be diverted from the canal
Right.
along with the river due to the
Right.
turbulence of the river.
Okay.
And downstream of this intersection, the discharge carrying capacity would reduce, and therefore the command area of the canal would reduce.
Okay.
But there are cases where we also allow the canal water and the river water to intermingle.
Okay.
So in those cases, what is that structure called? What is that intersection called?
Sir, I am not able to recall. I have read it, but
Level crossing.
level crossing.
Level crossing. All right. Have you visited any hydropower dam in Uttarakhand?
No, sir. But I know that there are some dams in Uttarakhand, like
Like
Terry Dam is there.
Terry Dam is there. Any other dam which you can name?
Sir,
Which you can recall?
Ramganga Dam is there. Ramganga Dam is
Ramganga
there.
Dam is there.
Yes, sir.
Terry Dam is a gravity dam or earth and rockfill dam?
Sir, it is a earth and rockfill dam.
Earth and rockfill dam.
Yes, sir.
What kind of spillway do we use for earth and rockfill dam?
Sir, I don't know.
What was your major project about in your final year?
Sir, in the final year, we did a B.Tech project, which was titled Design and Planning of an International Airport in the Haridwar, Roorkee and Laksa region.
It's very good.
Yes, sir.
And how did you calculate the design passenger capacity?
Sir, we took examples from the Jolly Grant Airport, which is
In Dehradun.
nearby. But sir, the problem with Jolly Grant Airport is that there was a proposed expansion of that airport, but it has been stalled because they cannot get the clearance from the Ministry of Environment and Forest. So sir, that is why we thought that there is a great need of constructing this airport in Haridwar, and we took examples of how the passenger volume increased, what it was initially at the time Jolly Grant Airport was constructed, and what was the increase which was observed there.
How much was the annual increment that you observed?
Sir, around 8%.
Around 8%.
Yes, sir.
And then how much was the capacity for which it was being planned, your airport? Annual footfall, if you can recall.
Sir, I'm not able to remember the annual passenger volume exactly.
That will be all from my side, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The interview is over. We'll call you again for the feedback and it will
Okay.
speed up.
Right, sir.
Yes, come.
Please unmask yourself, sir.
Sit down, sit down. We'll quickly give you feedback. Before that, we would like to hear from you. How did you perform?
Sir, it was below average, I think.
Not prepared.
Sir, not
You
prepared
were
right
not doing
now.
a job. That's why I started with a job. But you're not serious for the exam also.
Sir, actually, the preliminary examination was there day
You
before
have reached the
yesterday.
interview
So
stage. You are not bothered about the interview. You're more bothered about the preliminary.
Sir, no, I will be able to do well in the next. I have a week. I will be able to prepare well.
You will be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
That's
but
good.
my technical was a bit off the mark right now.
So this interview is mainly technical. Only one out of the 4 persons is likely to be non-technical. Non-technical, we didn't ask you. I didn't ask you any questions. I only talked to you about.
About snooker and
Snooker was just to make you comfortable, by the way. Whether you answer it rightly or wrongly doesn't make a difference.
okay,
Exactly. But yeah, the private sector or not, that makes a difference.
right, sir.
But I don't understand why are you not so specific. The only purpose of asking that question is, I want your specific point of view why you don't like private sector. Your profile shows that you don't like it. There's nothing wrong in not liking private sector, but you are reluctant to talk about it. This is no good answer, my dear friend, that my father said so and I think so. This is a very childish answer, let me tell you.
Okay, sir.
At your stage of life, I was also strongly of this view, even today I am, that I will not do, I work in private sector. And I remember, I taught to my children also that when you go for the UPSC interview or any interview in government, simple सा जवाब देना, हमें सीट की नौकरी नहीं करनी. I don't want to work for the enrichment of a company. Whether it is MNC or Indian.
Right, sir.
I want to work there. The benefits can be directly seen in my own being. Simple answer.
Okay, sir.
On things related to that, expand it.
Right, sir.
But you, आप गोल मोल घुमा रहे हैं, straight away जवाब नहीं दें. Don't do that.
Okay,
You are such a pleasant personality, such a good candidate for getting very good marks.
Okay, sir.
So be specific
Okay,
to
sir.
the demands of the question. Okay?
Right, sir.
So, what do you think? What I should say?
Sir, I think I was not even able to answer a single question.
Even
So,
single question. I asked 6 questions. And very simple question I asked. ऐसा नहीं है बहुत difficult question पूछा मैंने.
yes, sir.
Everyone know what is estimate, preliminary estimate, valuation. What is difference between estimate and valuation? Estimate
Right,
कब
sir.
बनाते हैं? ये
Yeah,
बता दो
estimate.
चलो. What is
Sir.
difference between estimate and valuation? एस्टिमेट बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट होने के पहले बनाते हैं.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है कि हमें ये बिल्डिंग बनाना है, तो हमारा एक एस्टिमेट होगा कि हम कितना हमारा कॉस्ट आएगा इसमें. लेकिन वैल्यूएशन का क्या मतलब? ये बिल्डिंग बन चुका, अभी इस बिल्डिंग को कोई खरीदना चाहता है
Okay.
तो वो एक वैल्यू लगाएगा ना, इसको बोलते हैं
Right,
वैल्यूएशन.
sir.
आप वैल्यूएशन में एस्टिमेट बता रहे हो, आप एक लाइन बोले भी थे तो एस्टिमेट के बारे में
Right.
बोल रहे हो.
Right.
तो दीज आर वेरी सिंपल थिंग्स एवरीवन नो. बीइंग ए आईआईटी स्टूडेंट ऐसा नहीं है केवल आपसे स्ट्रेस डायग्राम स्ट्रेन डायग्राम ही पूछेंगे.
Correct, sir.
राइट, दीज
Right,
आर
sir.
वेरी कॉमन क्वेश्चंस. क्वालिटी कंट्रोल आई आस्क, उसमें भी सेटिस्फैक्टरी आंसर नहीं था.
Okay, sir.
नॉन डिस्ट्रक्टिव टेस्टिंग आर नॉट परफॉर्म्ड एट ऑल. नो वन परफॉर्म दैट रिबाउंड हैमर टेस्ट, क्योंकि वो ऑथेंटिक ही नहीं होता है. वी डू क्यूब टेस्ट. आप क्यूब टेस्ट के बारे में बताते तो ज़्यादा सही होता. वी डू क्यूब टेस्ट मेनली.
Right, sir.
माइबन टेक्नोलॉजी आप देखो, आजकल जितने बिल्डिंग बन रहे हैं ना वो आरसीसी की वाल के ऊपर बना रहे हैं. उसमें एल्युमिनियम की शटरिंग लगाते हैं और आरसीसी की वाल कंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं. पूरा फटाफट बिल्डिंग बनता जाता है. 5-5 दिन में एक फ्लोर बनाते चले जाते हैं. 5 दिन में मैंने ज़्यादा बोल दिया, कहीं कहीं पे 3 दिन में कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
तो
Sir,
ये
I'll-
सब
I'll
थोड़ा तो पता
prepare,
होना
sir.
चाहिए ना. देखो बीम पूछा था मैंने, बिल्डिंग इंफॉर्मेशन मॉडलिंग करके. फ्रॉम ए आईआईटी स्टूडेंट और किससे पूछे यार बताओ. अगर एक आईआईटी का बच्चा नहीं बताएगा तो कौन बताएगा.
Right, sir.
So that means you don't keep yourself aware of the things whatever is going on in industry or in around
Right.
you.
Right.
थोड़ा सा
I'll improve, sir.
करिए, नहीं तो बहुत मुश्किल है.
Right, sir.
So Kartikay, I have very quick observations for you. Right?
Okay.
2 observations. One, what I gauged when you entered, right? Second, after the end of the interview.
Okay.
Then I correlated.
Okay.
First is that You are very well groomed, very good personality, so good. Alumnus of IIT Roorkee, so good. Right? But you have departed yourself from study. ऐसा मुझे लगा कहीं दूर हो गए हैं आप स्टडी से.
Okay.
तो आपको जाना है वहाँ. You have to reach there.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
That is first observation. And second, be confident. वो नहीं है आप क्यों नहीं अंदर से आप में वो नहीं आ रही थी. हमें कभी नहीं लगा कि आप you are an IITian.
Sir, when we are not prepared ना तो
नहीं ठीक है वो ठीक है प्रिपेयर
sometimes
कर
the
लेंगे
confidence
लेकिन
goes
ये
down.
बिल्कुल एकदम अंदर से वो चीजें आनी चाहिए इंस्टिंक्ट. आई
Right,
लव IIT.
right, sir.
दैट्स व्हाई आई एम गिविंग यू सजेशंस. आप यहाँ आए भी हैं तो वैसे भी है ना
Right, sir.
करना है.
ठीक है sir.
टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट ब्रश अप कर लीजिए. हफ्ता 8 दिन आपके पास टाइम है.
Right, sir.
ठीक, जो स्ट्रॉन्ग सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उसको ब्रश अप करिए अच्छे से. ठीक.
ठीक है
और जो आपका मेजर प्रोजेक्ट है जो फाइनल ईयर में था
हाँ जी.
वो ही आपका डिटेल स्टडी है इंजीनियरिंग रिलेटेड जो आपने खुद से किया हुआ, तो उसको अच्छे से ब्रश अप कर लीजिएगा. क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे. उत्तराखंड में आप रहे हैं तो जाहिर सी बात है इरिगेशन वाटर रिसोर्सेज बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Sure. Yes, sir.
इन एडिशन टू दैट इन्वायरमेंटल इंजीनियरिंग. तो ये 2 चीज़ों पर ध्यान दीजिएगा.
Right, sir.
आपके शॉर्ट नोट्स होंगे या जो भी नोट्स होंगे उसको ब्रश अप जरूर कर दीजिएगा.
Right, sir.
विल हेल्प यू. दैट्स ऑल
Okay.
फ्रॉम माय साइड.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you, sir.
ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thank you, sir.